Hello, hello. Welcome to today's movement. All right, so we're just going to start out warming up the shoulders. If you don't have a couple of chairs nearby, grab those if you can, or if you have another type of solid surface, if you got a couple of solid end tables or some type of flat surface that you can use. We're just going to be using these today for a little bit of our movement. Dylan, easy with the chickens. All right. And then I'm just kind of stepping back and forth as I roll my shoulders, just going ahead, getting a little bit of blood flowing. Today, I just want to make movements that feel good, okay? We're going to be doing functional movement today. All right, so just go ahead and try to make little circles with your fists as you begin to move those elbows around and bending them. And I'm just picking up my heels in the back. But we're going to be focusing on functional movements and mobility, okay? As we age, this is a very important practice because the first thing that goes is our stability, okay? Um, this is why you find people falling and then unfortunately, if they haven't been doing resistance training, then they may be experiencing osteoporosis, okay? That's another great thing about resistance training is putting load onto your bones actually causes your body to begin that process of creating the osteoblasts that are going to just take the amino acids and begin building your bones. Where do we get amino acids? We get it from food, okay? You can get amino acids through things like if you mix, say, corn and like quinoa, and also perhaps trying to think of what the third element in that would be. Maybe something like a onion. Then you're going to create a complete protein. Complete proteins are always available through animal-based products, but obviously with animal-based products you have to watch because you're going to be getting things like saturated fats. Okay, and we have to watch out for saturated fats because those are the things that are going to shoot our blood cholesterol levels up, right? So, eggs are a complete protein. They have all 9 essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are the things that you cannot get, your body cannot create, okay? You have to get those through your diet. There are amino acids that your body is able to produce, but we always have to make sure that we're getting the proper amount of essential amino acids in order for our body to do certain things. So, just things to keep in mind besides exercise and movement is to make sure that your nutrients, the things that you are taking into your body, are actually what your body needs in order to build, sustain, and restore itself, okay? God made our bodies to be able to heal themselves with certain types of foods. He gave us this beautiful creation that we see around us in order to provide the natural things that we can take and be able to take into our bodies and build ourselves up and sustain ourselves. All right, so with these chairs here in front of us, all right, I want you to pretend like you are first. We're not even going to use the chairs. I don't know why I brought them into a cord. So we're going to just hinge in the hips, come down. Okay. I want you, as you hinge in the hips, think of putting all of the weight in your heels. Okay. The ball of the feet is barely going to have any weight in it. It's mainly going to be just for slight stability. But like if you could almost pick your feet, the fronts of your feet up as you hinge in the hips. I mean, don't do that. I'm just saying think of it that way, okay? If you can lift your toes, like that might help you. What we'll do is we're pushing the hips back, okay? Think of it as pressing those hips back, keeping the back straight. I don't want to see hunched over, all right? Keep shoulders back, back up, and we're just going to hinge in the hips with all of that weight there in the back of the hips, all right? We're just going to do this a few times. Make sure you're squeezing the top of the glutes as you go through this motion, all right? So we're just inhaling down, exhaling up. Weight in the balls, or in the back of the feet, there in the heel. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. See my grass mower? Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Keeping that back straight. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is I want you to hinge in the hips the same way that you have been, okay? We're going to press into the chairs there in front of us, okay? And from there, we're just gonna step forward and step back. I want you to focus on trying to raise that hip up ever so slightly, okay? We're using our body's lever system, okay? So pretend like there is a string attached to the top of the foot there, and that string is just getting pulled and, moved back and forward. All right, we're just going to practice this a few times, back and forth. All right, if you're feeling comfortable and want to try it without the chairs, okay, we're going to give that a try. It involves a lot of core engagement if you aren't holding onto the chairs, because we still want to try to keep that nice straight back, those nice open shoulders that are drawn back. All right, and then we're gonna swap and do the left foot, okay? So you're going to just step forward and back with that left foot, all right? I'm doing it a few times here, holding onto the chairs. Remember, we're acting as though there is just a string attached to the top of that foot. I am keeping my thighs engaged, okay, through this. I want to keep the foot flexed upward there on that left side as I draw front and back. Now I'm going to do without the chairs, just keep going. If you need the chairs, keep using those. If you are trying it without, really try to focus on keeping shoulders back, keeping the back straight. We're stabilizing in that right thigh as we pick up and draw that left foot back. See, I'm already getting off balance there. This is a fantastic balance exercise, okay? All right. Take a moment, take a quick drink, and then we'll get right back to it. I'm starting to feel a little warmed up. How are you guys? Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna hinge in the hips, press those hips back again, all right? And then we're gonna just get up onto the balls of our feet, okay? And what we're gonna do, Dylan, please move out of the way, son. I love it. Can you set it on the chair for me? So we're gonna press into the balls of the feet and the toes, okay? Raising up to straighten the front of the ankle there, okay? Keep that back straight okay? Make sure to try to keep the glutes engaged, thighs engaged. Trying to almost hollow out the belly because I'm pressing my pubic bone forward, okay? That's engaging my abdominals, okay? I feel like I'm doing almost a little crunch as I try to keep those hips stabilized and raising up onto the toes like this. Whew, that lights up my legs, especially those calves. 2 more, all right? 1, 2. That felt good. All right, let's just do some quick little rolls here in the hips. All right, so I'm just alternating back and forth, rolling the hip out, knee around in a circle, taking a breath. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do, hinging the hips again. This time, what I want you to do is we're going to plant the feet. We're gonna shift onto the balls and come down to the knees. Shoulders will be back. We're going to make sure that our body is straight. Try to just make a nice plank out of the front of your body when you come down like this, okay? And then we're going to shift back and up onto the flat, like pressing all weight into the entirety of the foot, okay? So we're going to inhale down, exhale up. It's almost a little swing in between the chairs, okay? So I'm putting a lot of the weight into the chairs here, okay? I love this movement. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. 1. All right, go ahead and stand up. Make those little hip circles again. Where I actually feel that is in all of the areas there around the hips. I don't even really feel a lot of that weight that I'm bearing in my shoulder area. That may be a little bit different with everybody, you know, depending on the muscles that need a little bit of extra attention. You might begin to feel those. But as long as you're keeping that good, you know, straight, good posture, then you shouldn't have too much of the upper body that you're feeling it in. If you round your shoulders too much, then you're going to begin to feel it, you know, there in the front of the chest and the front of the shoulder in that front deltoid, okay? So things to note and to think about there. All right, so the next movement that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get those arms where the wrist is just below the shoulder, so I don't want to be set back too much and I don't want to be set forward too much. I want to be right over top of the wrist. Although, you know, we'll say I'm not directly over top because then the chairs would need to be here, okay? So I am going to bend there in the elbows ever so slightly. I'm still trying to keep my shoulders back, all right? And what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to perform a slight push-up, but this is just going to be a mobility exercise mostly, okay? All of my weight is going into the chest and the front of the shoulders as I hinge in the hip. That's where you're going to really feel this, is the back of the hip is going to get that nice stretch, okay? we're just going to inhale down, exhale up. I still have my feet nicely planted in the ground. So essentially, you know, if you consider my 2 feet a touch point and then my 2 hands, then we're creating a kind of tripod here between the feet and the hands. 2 more. Excellent job. All right, go ahead and come down onto the knees, all right? And from this position, bring that right foot forward so that you're in a bit of a deep lunge, all right? And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to take and bring those elbows up with the hands behind the head, okay? From here, we're going to inhale down as we hinge in the hips, pressing the hips back. Try to touch the elbows to the front of the chair, and then we exhale back up. So we're hinging, pressing the hips back, exhaling up. Two more. Excellent job. You know, slow and controlled is the name of the game in all of these movements, okay? Stability is the key through each of these. We don't want to be moving so fast that we feel wobbly, okay? Just breathe through it, move slowly, pay attention that you're engaging your body in all of the areas where engagement is needed. So bring those hands up behind the head. The elbows should be out beside of you, okay? We're going to inhale as we press the hips back. Touch the seat with the elbows. Exhale, back up. Hinging and pressing the hips back. Exhaling up. Three more. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic job. Go ahead and grab a quick drink before we move on to our next movement. All right. Ooh, that felt so good. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do, I want you to bring those knees down to the ground, okay? From here, we're going to step forward, try to get the knee just over the ankle when you do this, okay? And then we're going to begin to bend the elbows, drawing them back behind us, shoulder blades, trying to pull them together as we go into the deepest lunge that we can. Try to be sure that you're watching and get that knee over second and third toe alignment. It usually helps me to have a video because, as you noticed, if I have a visual, I can see and pull my knee into where it needs to be. Elbows back, all right? And then we're gonna swap. Bring that left one forward. Actually, let's focus on one side instead of doing the alternating. I think that will be more beneficial to us, okay? So that's what we'll do. We'll start with the right side. Here we go. We're going to inhale down, shoulders back, exhale up. I'm really trying to focus to squeeze the glute in the left side as I come down, trying to draw my leg back by pulling and squeezing that glute. Okay, so we're inhaling forward, exhale back. If you feel good without the chairs, try to do it without that helping with your stability. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to swap sides, okay? Bring that left foot forward. Get it stacked up under that knee, the ankle stacked under the knee there, all right? If you started out holding the chairs, let's do that for the first few. Make sure that you're going to inhale forward, watching the knee over toe alignment. Exhale back. Squeeze that back right glute. If you transitioned to no arms on the chairs, go ahead and do that now. Slow and controlled movements. Squeezing that back right glute. All right, excellent job. Let's come out of that, and we're just gonna hinge, pressing the hips back as we come down to the ground. Just giving the back of those legs a really nice stretch after that deep low lunge. It begins to activate some of those areas around the hips that maybe we might not usually activate like we should when we're doing low movements, like getting down at our cabinets to look through the cans in our pantry or whatever the case may be. So go ahead and we're going to come back up, all right? And from here, we're going to get at the front area of our chairs, okay? We're on the balls of our feet, okay? From here, we want to press out and forward, okay? So I'm using the chairs at first, and then I'm coming up off of them just to press out onto my knees and come up to an upright position. It may not seem like much, but believe it or not, the different muscles that are involved with this movement are vital to those day-to-day activities that we sometimes find ourselves underutilizing certain muscle groups doing, and then we end up hurt just doing those everyday activities, okay? And it's really easy to just go through these types of things and be able to exercise those muscles in a way where we get that good mind-body connection going, and we don't have to worry about hurting ourselves anymore doing the things that we enjoy doing in order to just live well, right? So, exhaling as my knees come up, inhaling down, exhaling up, inhaling as I hinge in the hips, exhaling my knees up, inhaling open, exhaling up, inhaling as I hinge in my hips, exhale. If you feel comfortable not placing your elbows on the chairs, try it. Last one. All right, fantastic. I'm actually going to go ahead and move the chairs out of the way because we're finished using those with the movements that we've been doing, all right? Let's come down to a seated position on the ground, and we're going to have those knees bent in front of us. Let's keep nice straight backs with shoulders drawn back. I don't want to see those hunched shoulders, okay? What we'll do from here is I want you to take that right knee. We're going to turn out and lay that knee and the side of the calf on the inside of that leg down to the side, and then back up. Okay, that's the only movement we're doing. Is just we're going to inhale down, exhale up. I'm pivoting on the butt bone on that left side. Okay, so as I pick up to move that leg, I pivot on that butt bone. I'm keeping back straight throughout. So there's engagement going on in my core, okay? To know if you're engaged in your core, if you'll just pick up the front feet, if you can pick those up and hold them as you kind of press your pubic bone forward, kind of making a little cup almost with the front of you, that is the feeling that you should have as you come out to this little movement here, okay? You're doing fantastic, and we're getting so close to the end of this. I love being outdoors and doing this little workout. All right, let's swap sides. You may notice that one side is tighter than the other. Remember, we're cupping and we're pressing that pubic bone forward to engage the core as we go through this. You go at your own pace. So if you feel like the movement that I'm doing is a little too fast, just step it down a notch in your tempo, okay? Keeping shoulders back throughout, back straight. Keep going. I just need to move my computer back slightly because it's getting into the sun, and I know that's got to be messing the video quality up. Okay, so we're still just back and forth. All right. So now we're going to do little heel taps. Okay, so keep that back straight, okay? And all we're gonna do, tap out and in, out and in. So we will inhale out, exhale together. All right, and that is the conclusion on the workout portion of this. So if you want to grab a quick drink, we're just going to do a slight bit of cool down with our static stretching. Okay, so I've just pressed my feet together here. I'm going to draw my knees down toward the ground by pulling, using these outer thigh muscles there on the bottom and sides of my booty, okay? I'm going to take an inhale with my shoulders back straight, and then I'm going to begin to exhale and hinge forward. Do not round your back. Come down as far as you can with a nice straight back. And then we're going to hold and breathe deep breaths, focusing on the core engagement. So I want you to inhale, open that stomach, really try to swell it out. Don't breathe into your chest. So if your chest is getting puffed up like that, that's not what I'm asking for, okay? Belly breath. That's a diaphragmatic breath, okay? That's a good way to begin to involve the core in all of what you do, okay? So I feel it helps me to flare my nostrils as I inhale through my nose, and then I exhale and just loosely allow my cheeks and my lips to just kind of flap in the wind of my breath. I don't know, it's just a good kind of cue for me that helps. All right, let's bring those feet forward out in front of us, and then we're going to do the same thing. So take an inhale into the breath of the belly, and then exhaling as we hinge forward, trying not to round the back. Let's just do a few little shoulder rolls, and I'm actually going to grab the ground behind me and just kind of move my body around as I press and circle through that movement, okay? It feels really good. It uses some of those muscles around the scapula that maybe you don't usually use whenever you're doing some of your daily movements. But oh, it feels so good. I don't know why I love it so much. All right, and then change the direction of the shoulder roll, okay? So we're just gonna begin circling the opposite direction right quick. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this workout. I know it's a little bit different than some of the things that we have done here recently, and I hope that it will be exactly what you need. It's always good to incorporate this type of training in with your resistance training. After you have moved through all of the phases of training, You want to circle back and continue a variety of different types of exercises in order to keep your body well-rounded, to focus in on mobility and stability and these types of functional movements that you will utilize in your day-to-day are very, very important for keeping your health at an optimal place. So thank you for joining, and I hope you have a fantastic day.